Oh, thank you so much. So informative. Thank you so much, Caitlin. I'm going to call her a log out to put her money where her mouth is. We know that gearing up for any of the big races, but especially the upcoming Two Oceans Marathon, where staying fit is obviously crucial for those runners. Tackling the half or the full marathon, you're going to put your body through the most. And we've got the pleasure of having one of our favourite runners in the world, Calvin Valentino, in studio, who is going to be giving you a guide through some of the essential fitness, those strengthening techniques to prepare for the exciting weekend ahead. If you haven't done any training, this isn't going to get you across the line. This is that fine-tuning, the core of what you need to focus on when you're running. Caitlin, thank you so much for sticking around to do this. I'm sure at this stage of the build-up to the race, you're like, I will do anything that I need to prepare my body, because it is an undertaking. There is something about the running, and in my own kind of recovery journey, getting my body back, I miss being out on the open road. There is something about that joy that you can get, but you've got to be strong enough to do it. So I'm going to take a seat. Sometimes you've got to take a seat to take a stand. And I'm going to ask you please to take us through, and Caitlin will help you demonstrate some of those strengthening or those fitness exercises that we got to have bedded down to get the core right.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get started on our mats. Once again, when you are in race week, you want to prime the body, so you don't want to overexert yourself. Also, you don't want to rest too much. So we're going to be on our left side here. So we're going to prime the glutes for this exercise. We're going to kick our right leg forward and our left leg a little bit back. And then we're going to lift up the right foot. And then we're going to try to dig the toes down for me. Heel up, toe down, lift it, bring it down. Lift it and bring it down. And this really targets the glute, gives you that glute activation. When you're running, glutes is one of the major muscles that supports you while running. So we want to have those activated. And then we can come back on our backs.
When you talk about a muscle being activated like that, and we know that the glute is one of those powerhouse muscles that kind of drives the system forward. What are we doing when we activate a muscle? What is that notion?
It's just really squeezing and sending the signals into the nerves and into the glutes. Squeezing, so when you squeeze the glutes, should always feel like you are flexing your bicep. Yeah.
Okay, so it's that mind-body connection.
Yeah, so I had a little bit of a problem last week. So my right glute wasn't activating as much while running. So it went into my ITB. So this really got painful and sore. And then I just did a few of these exercises that we're showing now, and my glute kicked in and it fired up.
That's crazy. I love it. Otherwise, that's to avoid the hour and a half of rolling with your master of pain. Brilliant. Don't let me slow you down, man. Yeah.
The next one is going to be a nice and simple one. It's going to be a glute bridge. So we're going to lift up the hips, relax the head. We're going to lift up the toes and kick into the heels here, and you're just going to bring it down, tap the floor with the glutes, squeeze the glute as hard as you can at the top and roll to the back of the neck, bring it down, touch, and bring it up. So as much as you're doing both glutes at the same time, you want to do individual ones as well. So we're going to kick the right leg forward and then lift up, squeezing the inner thighs together, touch, to lift up. So this really targets the left glute here, and it adds more weight onto that left glute as well.
Absolutely love the stabilizing that comes into this as well, because there is not a moment where you're not engaging that core.
Exactly.
And getting that balance right. I absolutely love that.
And that also focus on the hamstrings as well, which is also what you want to prime. Hamstrings, calves, your entire body actually. So our last one is going to be a half pigeon, which is really important. It's a more mobility stretch one. So the right knee is going to be in front, in between the hands, and we're going to lift up the chest here, squeeze the glutes. And we're going to dip the body weight into the right hip, a little bit into the right hip. And if your foot is not off towards the left as much as you can, just make sure it's not underneath the thighs. But see if you can bring it as high as possible. Lift. You want to get nice and heavy through the chest here. If you want to take it one step further, are you going to join me?
I'm going to join you.
I'm waiting to see if one can, yeah.
We're going to reach the right hand back to catch the left foot.
Okay, let's
There we go, a little bit of a quad stretch there.
Wow.
So you're getting the hip mobility, hip stretch, hip, and then the quad stretch on the left, and a bit of hip flexor here as well.
I was going to say, because these are so vital. If you think of how you feel when you wake up the next day, those hip flexors, any of the muscles that work around like the sciatic nerve, for instance, if you've got a little niggle there, those muscles in the glutes are so strong, they will literally crush that. I love this, where you're separating those muscles, just kind of opening up that root.
Targeting them.
That is flexible, my friend, absolutely flexible. In that final build-up to the race, what is most important? If a runner has to keep something in their mind in terms of their conditioning, because you don't want to push your body too hard, what is that final, that run-in, excuse the pun, advice that you would have?
Race week advice, like I said in the beginning, don't exert yourself too much. You want to do a few short runs, like 1 or 2 short runs, close to race day pace, but not over race day pace, but short runs just to keep a little bit of tension in the muscle. You don't want no tension in the muscle. You don't want to rest too much and then lose your fitness.
For sure.
So you got to keep your body prime, keep a little bit of tension so that come race day, your body still knows that pace, still has that energy. You're still in that zone, in your optimal zone to perform, to run. 21 kilometers if you're doing the half, 56 if you're doing the full.
And then just go and smash it. Just go and crush it. Caitlin, thank you so much for sticking around. We absolutely love you. The advice from both of you, invaluable. Just enjoy it. The route is spectacular. You won't even notice that you're running for half of the race, but when that crunch time kicks in, when you need the help, you've got your community, your brothers and sisters around you to help you get through it. So make sure that you connect with the runners around you. You keep your head in the right space. I think this final build-up preparation is more about the mental focus and getting that race down in your head than it is about the body. But make sure you look after your beautiful body as you prepare for what will probably be one of the coolest moments of your life. Then just go out there and crush it.